Playoff race number 2 is here in our 18th race of the season for the PCSRA Coca-Cola Truck Series. Comes to the Pocono Raceway in Long Pond, Pennsylvania. As we're going to start a long weekend of racing as it is time for 60 laps. The CRC Brake Lean 150 here at the Pocono Raceway. 60 laps for these drivers here today. This is also, as I said, the second race of the first round. Here is a look at the points entering today's race. After today's race, we only have one more race left to go in this round, which is our elimination race coming up in 2 weeks' time at the Gateway Motorsports Park. And we'll see who will be the 3 drivers that will be eliminated from the playoffs. Jimmy Baker starts on the pole position. Jimmy has had a tough season so far. Comes in this race 25th in the point standings, still trying to find victory lane for the first time this season. Tico Jumiaka, on the other hand, he is alongside. He is a playoff contender. He comes to this race in that critical 7th in the points. 3 points ahead of the cut line in front of Gretchen Mueller. Then we have Rita Secret and Lucky Prescott complete the opening 2 rows. Got a couple of top story news we'll need to discuss in just a second. And driver making her return to the Truck Series. As there's a look at the rest of the lineup. Prudence Littlejohn, by the way, running the Penske truck parts this week and for the rest of the season. Let's get these drivers off and rolling. We'll go over the point standings real quickly. So Hattie Swartz, the points leader by 64 points over Justin Hugo. Mandy Evans is third, 69 back. April Winters, 83 back. Annie Crenshaw, 96 points back. Victor Gonzalez is 6, 99 points back. He has 15 ahead of the cut line. Then Tico Jumiaka is 7th, and then the 3 drivers in the dangers are Gretchen Mueller, Peach Ramirez, and Samantha Granger. Those drivers really need a good run today, or they could find them, because another bad finish, they could find themselves going into Gateway in a must-win situation. Lucy Granger is driving the 05. If you weren't with us from Chicagoland, Benny MacArthur was ejected from this ride for his incident, and so Lucy Granger will be making her rookie debut with her little sister for the last 6 races of the season. Anna Leonard is making her Truck Series return as she got the charter from Brian Gomez. She'll be in this ride for the rest of the season. And then Prudence Littlejohn running the Penske truck parts for the last 6 races of the season. Last week, nobody went to victory lane. Prudence Littlejohn was actually your most recent winner last week at Chicagoland. As we're coming through turn number 3. Just as I said last week at Chicagoland, if any of our 10 playoff drivers go to victory lane here today, it's an automatic ticket to the round of 7. Here we go. The CRC Brake Lean 150 is green. Let's go racing here for Pocono, boys and girls. $60 laps, 150 miles, so it's almost like a dual race. But these drivers will have to make a pit stop in today's race, because there is no stages, I should point out. These trucks can go only 40 laps on a tank of fuel. Like all 42 took the start and nobody had any mechanical issues, so we are just finally underway. Tico Jumiaka, this is critical. If he leads this lap, that's 5 critical bonus points he's going to have And that could play a big factor in if he's going to be moving on to the round of 7 or not. Just remember, we talked about 10 drivers in the playoffs. Of course, you have another 32 drivers who are trying to find victory lane for the first time this season. Jimmy Baker is one of them. Here's Ashton Ingersoll in the 68. Ashton also needs a good run here today because he is one of the drivers that's in the danger zone of losing his charter. Let me see. Coming in today's race, the 5 drivers in the danger zone. Oh, Carlos Sinat's around. We'll get to that in just a second. As there's a wreck, caution's out. But I was getting ready to say, Charlie Silver, Billy Kitchens, Patrick Combs, Ashley Horton, and Lauren Grubias came in this race in the danger zone of losing their charter. 68 was going to lose his. And Sean Art is going to lead us under our first caution. Now the big question was, did any of our playoff drivers get involved in a wreck? Yes, they did. Victor Gonzalez. He was collected in this, and that's a playoff contender. Came in this race 6th in points. Oh, no. He could find himself in the danger zone heading into next week's our next elimination race in 2 weeks' time. So he was collected in whatever this was. Let's see what happened up here. 49 of Carlos Sinat. 3 wide with Lucky Prescott and Charlie Silver. Silver also needed a good run today because he's also one of the drivers that could lose his charter for next season. And looks like 49 got tight and pushed up into Lucky Prescott. Nowhere for any of these drivers to go. Let's go to the helicopter view. Victor Gonzalez was collected. 32 got a piece of it. April Winters got a piece of it too. That's a playoff contender. Nice job getting on the brakes by Grubias. Oh, Gretchen Mueller was in it. That's another playoff contender. There's Gonzalez. Annie Crenshaw, another playoff contender involved. I've counted 4 already. Now, who hit Crenshaw? Oh, April Winters. And that was right in front of a couple of playoff contenders. Ooh, Peach Ramirez just barely missed hitting the draw tight Ford F-Series. Boy, that's about, what, half of our playoff grid involved in this wreck. Boy, this is going to make this elimination race at Gateway very interesting, I can tell you that for sure. Because remember, if any of those drivers who came into this race into Danger Zone DNF, they more than likely could be heading into Gateway basically in a must-win situation. Got some trucks coming to pit road, not sure why, unless this is scheduled. We're going to have to see if anybody is out of the race. And Victor Gonzalez is out of the race. Ooh, he's going to find himself in a precarious spot going into our elimination race at Gateway. As he's out of the race, Annie Crenshaw, April Winters not having good runs. They definitely could not ill afford a bad finish. Boy, we're going to have possibly a point shakeup here in the playoffs for trucks. Top 10 as we go back to green. Sean Art, Ashton Ingersoll, Mandy Evans, the highest playoff contender. Billy Kitchens, Tico Jumianka, next highest playoff contender. Charlie Silver, 42 of Annika Ritchie. Jessica Moore, 50 of Matt Smith, and the 02 of Jimmy Baker's. We're back to green. Now it changed. Now Anna Leonard's in the top 10. I think some of those drivers came to pit road, which I don't think they can make it the rest of the way. But they're playing pit strategy to where they can make it on one more stop. Those that stayed out, they can't make it on fuel. Boy, this is really going to set things up as far as the elimination race is concerned. And that might have just put Gretchen Mueller possibly in a must-win situation heading into our elimination race at Gateway. Anna Crenshaw's back here. She came in 5th in points, so a couple of drivers ahead of her. A couple of drivers behind her in points are ahead of her, and that's not good for the young Annie Crenshaw, as looks like the 32 of Shohei Alinsky has no hood. I think he was involved in that little incident. Let's see how bad the damage is on that Federated Auto Parts Toyota. Doesn't look like it's... I don't see any damage to her truck. So Gretchen Mueller must have dodged a major bullet as far as that's concerned. Ari Springer battling Justin Hugo. Of course, Ari Springer, the outgoing Truck Series champ. Critical for Lauren Grubius and Ashley Horton. They need good runs in order to keep their charters for next season. Of course, Norm Benning Motorsports would like to have 2 charters for next season. And both of them have still yet to find victory lane for the first time this season. So they're still looking for victory lane. There's Samantha Granger side by side with the points leader, Hattie Swore. And here she comes, about to pass her sister, Lucy Granger. Of course, Lucy Granger is going to be racing in the AutoZone Amateur Series, so she's going to probably keep that helmet on. She's driving the Sunny D Chevrolet in the AutoZone Amateur Series. Samantha Granger really needs a good run today, because she is going to be, because if she has a bad finish today, we could possibly put her basically in a must-win situation. Brune Siljohn, who won last race at Chicagoland last week. And remember, we had a non-playoff contender go to victory lane. That was Littlejohn. So none of our 10 playoff drivers are safe as far as moving on to the next round is concerned. Because remember, that's 5 critical bonus points going into the reformatted playoff points. Because after Gateway, they will start at Kansas. Kansas is the first race of the round of 7. Remember, while Kansas is the first race of the second round for Trucks and Buffalo Wild Wings Series, keep in mind it's also an elimination race for the Monster Energy Series. Sean Arch still leads this race. Ashton Ingersoll. There's Mandy Evans. If Evans has a good run today, she could possibly move herself into the next round. Momo Akari, by the way, who raced her way into this race via the non-charter race. She's having a good run here in 4th. As Makara Mirmo is not having a good run, and this is not good for a driver who comes in this race 18th in the points. Lucky Prescott's back here. Gretchen Mueller's about to lose the draft, so Gretchen Mueller could find herself basically in a must-win situation. Oh, contact between Rita Seagrid and April Winters. That was close. Ari Springer's got a damage glitch. I don't know why there's a damage glitch on the spoiler unless she was collected in something. Sarah Costello. I also should point out that Costello, Littlejohn, and the Amirmoez siblings came in this race in those spots of moving up to the Buffalo Wild Wings series. Well, that's going to get shaken up. Ashton Ingersoll, currently our leader, he came as race, on the bubble as far as trying to keep his charter for next season. Tatum right in the 33, trying to hold up Billy Kitchens. Kitchens will be leaving Nathan Orman Motorsports at the end of the season because Ormy is moving to Mercedes next season, leaving Billy Kitchens without a home and or without a team. And Kitchens could end up losing his charter. 34th in the points, no top 5s, no top 10s. It's been a disappointing season. What the 6 and the 57 have to hope for is that drivers ahead of them in points end up having a bad finish. So I'm basically going to probably confirm that Gretchen Mueller will definitely go into next race in 2 weeks in a must-win situation. Next week, trucks are off. As Tatum has passed Ingersoll for the lead, but for how long? Excuse me there. I just had something to eat before I started recording. I hope you all don't mind. But let's not forget, we still have one more pit stop these drivers have to make. Those that came into the pits under that first yellow. Of course, with Lucy Granger going to be driving the trucks next year, she's also going to be doing AutoZone Amateur Series full-time next season for that 47 team. April Winters is going to find herself in a precarious situation. Gretchen Mueller is more than likely going to find herself in a must-win situation heading into our elimination race. Patrick Combs, 33rd in points. He's at risk of losing his charter. He's going to be also racing the AutoZone Amateur Series later today. There's the points leader, Hattie Swore. The guy who's trying to run her down for the points lead, which is Justin Hugo. He's all the way in 21st. That was second in points. Good run for Anna Leonard in her first start of the year. She will return full-time with this 36 team next season for Dean of Oils Racing, following her teammate Lauren Grubius. Grubius needs a good run today as far as herself is concerned. Also should mention that Nick Foster, who raced his way into this event via the non-charter race, he's starting to drop back. The good news is for Grubius is that the gal that was ahead of her in points, she is ahead of Rita Seagrid. Ashley Horton is also ahead of Rita Seagrid. So that's the good news I can tell you. Because remember, Lucy Granger, as I said, you know, she and Patrick Combs, they're going to probably stay in their fire suits because remember, they're in the AutoZone Amateur Series race later today. Talked about one of the Amirmoezes who came into this race in one of those critical spots of moving up to the Buffalo Wild Wings series. Well, Azar Amirmoez is currently leading that race. She actually came this race on the bubble because now with Benny MacArthur ejected for the rest of the season, that's really going to help the 40 team. Billy Kitchens just need a win to get his charter saved for next season. Of course, we don't know what team he'll be driving for. Prince Littlejohn trying to make it 2 wins in a row to start the playoffs, even though she is a non-playoff contender, following Momo Akari. Speaking of Momo Akari, her guru Makoto Iguchi will be in this series next season, along with Momo Akari. So at least we're going to have a couple of Japanese drivers still in the truck series next season. Of course, we have 2. Of course, we have Tiko Jumiaka, and we also have Momo Akari from Japan. There's Mandy Evans. As things stand, Mandy Evans is looking good because she also had a... Let's see where she finished last week at... Mandy Evans finished 19th last week, so not a good run, but an okay run. Because remember, Hattie Swore came in this race the points leader after she was the only playoff contender that finished that race. There's Heather Gallant. We aren't too sure what the 81 team will be next season. Heather Gallant, this will be a one-and-done series for her. That Juicy Fruit Chevy Silverado out of DPI, which is Dog Pound Inc., a team owned by Shane Lake. Shane Lake, by the way, failed to qualify for this race. A couple of playoff contenders. Gretchen Mueller is definitely going to find herself in a must-win situation. Hattie Swore is going to find herself in a precarious situation going into next week's going into our elimination race in 2 weeks' time. Chloe Carmichael, not the run she would have liked. Of course, Chloe Carmichael, I don't think her charter is safe. Carmichael's 17th in points. There's been some rumors that Chloe Carmichael could be going full-time in the tiers of the Monster Energy Series next season, even though she will not be eligible for Rookie of the Year, however. There's Lucy Granger having a respectable run, even though she's running in 21st and about to be battling with the DVR gang of Lauren Grubius and Erica Douglas. Speaking of Erica Douglas, she will be moving over to the 35. There's been rumors that she could have a family member be a part of the PCSRA next season. Who would that be is yet to be determined. Justin Hugo's there. What the 25 needs to see is a yellow to get herself caught back up, or what she needs is drivers ahead of her in points to run into trouble, and so far that's not happening. Samantha Granger might have just gotten herself out of that danger zone. Where's the 24? He's all the way back there in 20th. And the 9 truck, that is... and the 9 truck of Charlie Silver has taken his truck back behind the wall with an engine failure. And look out, they're about to catch Makara Amirmoez, who's had a very disappointing season. Or who's had a disappointing day, I should say. And Azar is about to put her little sister a lap down. Last week at Chicagoland was a wreck fest. Today, excuse me, it's looking like that's not the case. Lucy Granger is going to be in this ride that Samantha's currently in. The 15 Mugs Root Beer. Of course, Lucy Granger won the AutoZone Amateur Series race last week at Chicagoland. Her first career win and her third career start. And looks like Makara is not making the leader's life any difficult, even though she's holding up the outside line. Billy Kitchen's getting held up, so is Mandy Evans, a playoff contender. Evans is now going to get to the inside. Next Scarzell encounters Annie Crenshaw, playoff contender, and Shohei Alinsky. Alinsky's got no hood, and somehow is beating Annie Crenshaw. Annie Crenshaw could be one of the 3 drivers in the danger zone going into our next elimination race. Of course, next week, trucks and Buffalo Wild Wings are off. We will have Lucy Granger, who's racing in the AutoZone Amateur Series. We will have her and the other 41 drivers next week at Kentucky. And they'll be with the Monster Energy Series drivers. Because as I mentioned, trucks and Buffalo Wild Wings have their first elimination race in 2 weeks. Next week is an elimination race for the Monster Energy Series. I see some skid marks up there. I don't know where that came from. Must have missed an incident. Probably from that first accident. Ari Springer in the 34 having a miserable run. Alright, while this race is going on, I'm going to go ahead and put the plate up, so I will be back in a second. I'm also going to shut up the voicemail. As Azar Mirmoez currently leads this race. Welcome back, everybody. Back here at Pocono Raceway. And we're about to hit the midway point in today's race. Here in the CRC Brake Lane 150. Daniel Voiles here at Pocono Raceway in Long Pond, Pennsylvania. Nothing has happened now as we're hitting the halfway point of this race. Good run for the rookie Lucy Granger. Of course, she'll be, like I said, going to be doing double duty today. She'll be racing in the AutoZone Amateur Series race. You'll see that race coming up tomorrow. More than likely tomorrow. We had the Mario Kart series. Ran their preseason. Went to victory lane. So it's been a very busy day. We had Buffalo Wild Wings qualifying. We had Monster Energy practice. We're gonna go ahead and pull up our Wendy's race menu. Tomorrow, and we also had Buffalo Wild Wings Series qualifying, which, by the way, you will see Ari Springer and the other 41 drivers in tomorrow's race. Here's Annie Crenshaw. Annie Crenshaw will have to make the race. Will have to make the Buffalo Wild Wings Series race at Toronto. Still side by side with Shohei Alinsky. Alinsky will be back full time in the Truck Series next season. We don't know what ride he'll be in. Indiana Motorsports is going to be driving a Ford next season, so we'll have to wait and see how that will go. And Makara Amirwez has taken her truck behind the wall. Looks like whatever the damage was on her truck, looks like it was probably too much for her to continue on, so she will end up calling it an early day. So it's up break for her. Came this race 18th in the points. It's really going to hurt her trying to get into the Truck Series for next season. So it's up break for Makara. Her sister Azar, driving for Nice Motorsports, just put Annie Crenshaw and Shohei Alinsky a lap down. They were involved in the first big wreck of the day. Actually, correction, I said the AutoZone Amateur Series race is tomorrow. It's actually coming up later today, because we still have enough daylight to do the AutoZone Amateur Series, and that will be the last race of day one. Tomorrow we'll have Monster Energy Series Happy Hour. So we'll have final practice for the Monster Energy Series drivers tomorrow. Then we will have the Buffalo Wild Wings Series drivers. Or actually, no, we'll have happy hour first for Monster Energy. Then we'll have qualifying for the Monster Energy Series. Then we'll have the Buffalo Wild Wings Series race here tomorrow. And pit stops. These drivers who did not pit under that yellow's coming to pit road. Ingersoll, Hugo. Jesse Art had a slam on her brakes, did not hit Hugo. Bruce Littlejohn just hit Jesse Art coming in the pit road. Ari Springer's on pit road. Gretchen Miller just came out of the pits. And some of these drivers who came to pit road back in our first yellow, they go a little bit further on a fuel run. Here they all come to pit road. All of these drivers. Mandy Evans is going to stay out, so she is going to inherit the lead and get a lap led. So that's 5 points for Mandy Evans. Mandy Evans needs a good race here today to possibly, if she wins today, she would be into the next round of the playoffs. Makara has climbed out of her truck. Probably a little disappointed her day came to an early end. Caution's out! Caution is out for the second time today. Mandy Evans is coming to a closed pit lane. Oh boy, right in the middle of pit stops. That really is going to shake up the running order. And who's the leader after all this? Well, 58's going to have to start the back of the field because she came in when the pits were closed. So did Jimmy Baker and playoff contender Tico Jumiaka. But I don't know who was involved. That's the question I'm going to have to answer. Our second caution of the day. Victor Gonzalez was released from the infield care center, by the way. Forgot to bring that up. Okay, there's where the yellow came out. Let's see who got involved in this. Oh, Gretchen Mueller, playoff contender. She just recently pitted. Oh, she got into Riley Roblier. Riley just turned down on the 25. That took both trucks into the wall. That's what the yellow was for. Boy, we're going to have some trucks a lap down in the process. So I don't know who's the leader after all this. It's saying Mandy Evans is the leader. The problem is she is going to have to start the back of the field. Where's that 58? Less timing and scoring hasn't updated. Okay, there she is. Yeah, it was the 13 who was in the lead. So that will turn the race lead over to the 40 of Azar. And she's going to have a couple of drivers on the tail end of the lead lap due to this ill timing of this yellow. So our second yellow of the race. Gretchen Mueller is getting her damage repaired, so she's going to go another lap down. Nope, she's out of the race. Gretchen Mueller is going to find herself going into Gateway, basically needing to win to advance to the next round of the playoffs. Looks like Matt Smith's got a mechanical problem in the back. Just got the 1-to-go signal. We'll take the green with 20 laps of racing to go here at Pocono. Out of the race is the 25 of Gretchen Mueller. Mueller had a bad finish last week at Chicagoland. She is no doubt going to be heading into Gateway in a must-win situation. Samantha Granger just probably got herself out of the danger zone. Rita Seeger and Lucky Prescott, the last cars on the lead lap. They're ahead of the race leader. We're back to green. Annie Crenshaw just trying to get out of the leader's way, and her teammate. Of course, remember, Lucky Prescott was involved, has been really off the pace all day. 32 is off the pace as well. It's because the 32 has hood damage on an aerodynamic truck like Pocono. That's never a good thing. Oh, be careful. Oh, Lucky Prescott just took out Tatum right in front of the entire field. Will that be a caution? The answer is no. Justin Hugo was collected. That's a playoff contender. That's second in points involved. Oh, boy. Has this shooken up the playoffs so far? And Hugo didn't have a good run last week. He lost the points lead last week. Let's see. Yeah, Prescott got the wall, but nothing Hugo could have done there. And Tatum Wright was an innocent victim in this. But that's a key name there. Second in points. The sucky part for Tatum is that this is her home state where she goes to college, is Pennsylvania. But second in points has had trouble. Boy, Justin Hugo is going to find himself in a precarious spot heading into our elimination race. Here comes Samantha Granger. Really needed a good run. She brought her little sister up here to the front, Lucy Granger. Samantha Granger finished the worst of the playoff drivers last week at Chicagoland. Absolutely need a good run. Oh, the one thing she doesn't need to be involved is in a wreck. Looks like they got out of that little jam. Granger just needs a good run to get herself out of the danger zone of possibly being one of the early drivers getting eliminated from the playoffs. And look at her little sister trying to take the lead from Azara Miralez. But Heather Gallant's going to make it 3 wide. Matt Smith has not left the pit lane. Apparently he has had a mechanical problem or something. Did his engine let go? Or no? Oh, nope, Matt Smith's going. Apparently he was penalized a couple of laps, I think, for something. I don't know what. So now he's back in a race, now running in 38, 3 laps down. So he was got a 3-lap penalty. And now Lucy Granger, we talked about her winning her first career AutoZone Amateur Series win. Could she win in her Truck Series debut? Remember, she's got a race in the AutoZone Amateur Series race later. And of course, the good thing for Lucy Granger, she will have a charter for next season. As my mouse is stuck, I do apologize for that. Prince Littlejohn right there in third. Samantha Granger is definitely going to get herself out of the danger zone because she's ahead of a number of playoff contenders like Tico Jumiaka. Because I know Victor Gonzalez is going to drop in the danger zone. Possibly Annie Crenshaw. Where's Peach Ramirez at as far as her stuff is concerned? 24. She's going to be in a precarious situation heading into our elimination race in 2 weeks' time. Matt Smith could play a factor before it's all said and done. Everybody can make it to the end. Because here's the thing for Lucy Granger. If she wins this race, I wonder how she's going to celebrate because, remember, she has a quick turnaround to get ready for the Ozone Amateur Series race. That's going to be something she's going to have to get used to. I know her team could be celebrating in Victory Lane, but they may have to wait and hold off the celebration until she is done with the Ozone Amateur Series race. Wouldn't that be something if she pulled off an upset here in the Truck Series? In her debut race, may I remind you all. Because remember, once she climbs out of the truck, she's going to have to go straight to her 47 truck. Or not 47 truck, her 47 car, excuse me there. Her sister Samantha going to be looking pretty good getting out of that danger zone after a poor finish last week. In that Muggs Root Beer truck. She'll drive for Toyota. She will be a Toyota driver in the Buffalo Wild Wings Series for next season for Venturini Motorsports. And she will have a charter from this series that she got that will carry with her to the series. Of course, her little sister will be still in the Truck Series. Wouldn't this be something if Lucy Granger pulls off the biggest upset of rate in the series? I'm going to go ahead and share. I have to share this with everybody. I'll go ahead and do it on Discord. Actually, no, I'm going to wait and not share it on Discord. Rather not spoil who won this race. Samantha Granger could get herself out of the danger zone. This is a well-needed run for the 15 truck. Tico Giambianchi came in a critical 7th in the points. Looks like he's going to find himself in an interesting situation heading into our elimination race. At least we'll see the Ozone Amateur Series. After this race in Kentucky, we will not see the Ozone Amateur Series until we go to Kansas, which is, like I said, the first race of the round of 7 for trucks, the first race of the round of 8 for the Buffalo Wild Wings Series, and the second elimination race for the Monster Energy Series, which will have 4 drivers getting eliminated. Inside of 10 to go. Looks like Annika Ritchie just took the lead, but not for long, because here comes the 24, Tico Giambianchi. Interesting thing is Lucy Granger's doing is trying to complete 140 laps here today. Because like I said, she's doing double duty with Patrick Combs. Patrick Combs is not having a good run today, and of course, I bet you Lucy will definitely use the bathroom. Because she's wearing her AutoZone Amateur Series fire suit, and I know Lucy will probably not have a shower until after the AutoZone Amateur Series race, so she's going to be all sweaty after this one. But still a great, respectable run for the youngest of the two Granger sisters. Her sister's going to Buffalo Wild Wings next season, so like I said, regardless. Plus the fact that her sister has done a key factor, which is keeping her charter for next season for her little sister. It's like sisterly love. And we can't wait to see how Lucy Granger will do. Of course, she'll still run the AutoZone Amateur Series full-time next season just to get some more seat time. And Cody Smart said they wanted to get Lucy Granger into a truck series ride sooner or later. Well, the sooner just happened, so. Of course, Lucy will still run for Rookie of the Year, though. Speaking of drivers that will still keep their charter, we have a couple of playoff contenders. 1-2, Tico Jumiaka. Now remember, Tico came in this race 7th in points. If Tico wins today, doesn't matter what happens to him at Gateway in 2 weeks. He's off to the next round of the playoffs. If Samantha Granger wins, oh boy, that could shake up the playoff grid really easily. And remember, Granger was the lowest of the playoff drivers last week. Samantha Granger, that is, not Lucy. I'm clarifying which Granger I'm referring to. Of course, Lucy Granger's crew chief in the AutoZone Amateur Series is actually on the pit box of the Zaxby's 05 pit box. Just trying to see what Lucy's trying to learn. Of course, like I said, Lucy doing 2 races today. Something she's going to get used to. She's still trying to learn what the track's like and all that. And like I said, she's going to still have her helmet on. She's probably going to dash to the driver introductions. And she's running in 10th last time by. Lauren Grubius, well-needed run for her. And she is ahead of Ashton Ingersoll, who's in 25th, so that might have just gotten Lauren Grubius out of the danger zone and then some. Ashley Horton, however, would still be behind Ingersoll. But the good news for the 57 team is that the 88, she is also ahead of the 88. So that would put the 88 team basically in the danger zone of losing their charter for next season. Good run for Ari Springer. A couple of top 15 runs if she can hang on. Here comes Mandy Evans. Now remember, Mandy Evans could actually lock her a spot in the next round. Actually had an okay run last week. And do I see the points leader back there? Yes, I do. I see Hattie Swartz. She was at the back for most of this race. And here she comes out of nowhere. And I believe Hattie swore, and she was the points leader coming in this race, so she might have just locked her a spot into the round of 7 as long as she doesn't have a bad race at Gateway in 2 weeks. I hear scraping. Oh, we got a crash. Oh, it's Little John. Caution is out. This might be for the win. This will be for the win right here. Last time out's winner, Little John, has crashed. This is for the win. And it looks like, to me, Tico Jumiaka, if he can hang on and not come to pit road, Tico Jumiaka might have just locked him a spot into the round of 7. And I see 4 playoff contenders inside the top 10. And a tough break for Little John, who was having such a good run. Last time by was scored in the 8th position, got wrecked. And now she's going to end up with a disappointing finish. That's a shame. Let's see. I think the 05 truck got a little tight. And then came down into the points leader, Hattie Swore. But how everybody missed the Penske Truck Parts Ford F-Series, I don't know. But this race will end under the caution. As long as he doesn't pit, Tico Jumiaka has this race in the bag. We will not be able to go back to green, however, which is a bit of a shame. But a couple of playoff contenders definitely going to be very happy with the results today. White flag was just displayed for the DC Solar Chevy Silverado. It'll be DC Solar's last race, and for them to go out on top, that's an incredible accomplishment for them. As he comes off turn number 3, Tico Jumiaka is confirmed into the round of 7. He wins the CRC Brake Clean 150. And Tico Jumiaka becomes the first Truck Series driver to lock himself a spot into the next round of the playoffs. So it doesn't matter what happens at Gateway, Tico Jumiaka knows he is into the next round of the playoffs. Mandy Evans came up 1 spot short, but still a well-needed run for her. Standings are indeed official. Mandy Evans second. She came as race third in the points. We'll see where this is going to situate her going into the elimination race next week. Sean Art came home in third. Samantha Granger, well-needed run for her in fourth. This will put her in an interesting situation heading into Gateway. As far as our first elimination race is concerned. Annika Ritchie, well-needed run. Driver 36 in the points. Dead last in points of the drivers who has a charter. Definitely a well-needed run from her in 5th. Stephanie Driscoll came home in 6th. Good job for her. Jessica Moore, 7th. Hattie Swore, the points leader, comes home in 8th. I think Hattie Swore might join Tico Jumiaka as long as she doesn't have a bad result at Gateway. I think we have 2 drivers confirmed possibly into the next round of the playoffs. How about Lucy Granger? Samantha finishes 4th. Her little sister gets 9th on debut. great job from her, and she's probably gonna, and she still has to go race the Ozone Amateur Series race, so she's probably not gonna shower for a while because she's got to get ready to race. She'll probably use the bathroom at the point. And the outgoing champion, Ari Springer. Great job to her, came home in 10th. Great run for Lauren Grubius. This will get her out of the danger zone of losing her charter for next season, because she finished ahead of some drivers like Jimmy Baker, finished 25th. So Grubius has just gotten herself out of the danger zone, which is critical for that. Excuse me. Critical for Grubius. Chloe Carmichael 12th. Where did the rest of your playoff finishers? April Winters 13th. Good run from Momo Akari in a non-charter effort. Let's see. Anna Leonard had a 21st place finish, so not the run she was hoping for, but at least she finished the entire race on the lead lap. So I counted 1, 2, 3, 4 playoff contenders inside the top 10. April Winters came home 13th. That's 5. Let's see. Going down. Ashley Horton 23rd, but she did finish ahead of some drivers who had some bad finishes. Peach Ramirez came home at 26. She'll look on down through the remainder of the finishing results. Tough break for Prudence Littlejohn, who had a good run going of a top 10, will end up 30th, so she's probably disappointed about that. Justin Hugo, 33rd, came this race second in points. Annie Crenshaw, 35th. Gretchen Miller and Victor Gonzalez out of the race. That will more than likely put Gretchen Mueller basically in a must-win situation heading into Gateway next week. And then Victor Gonzalez, who was inside the safe zone, he'll be in the elimination spot. But that depends where... of course, Mueller didn't have a good result. She finished all the way down in 39th, so... And, of course, the bad news for Gonzalez, the gal that was dead last in the playoff standings, had a good result, which was Samantha Granger. So, I don't know what this could mean as far as some drivers. I know Tico Gibiaca for certain is going to be one of the 7 drivers in the next round of the playoffs. But who would be the 6 other drivers joining him when we go to Gateway in 2 weeks' time? We will just have to wait and see. We're actually going to show you your points for that matter. Speaking of that, 33 trucks finished on the lead lap, 38 finished the race, and then Mueller, Makara Mirmois, Charlie Silver, and Victor Gonzalez out of the race. I could also say for Charlie Silver, that might be all she wrote for his charter savior as far as that's concerned. And I did save the points, so we're in good shape. Or the export. Yeah, the export. All right. And then one driver got added, which I've already put her in there. CRC, brake, lean, 150. 3 cautions, which a lot better than Chicagoland, I can tell you that for sure. I don't know why they always put me at 43rd, which I'm not 43rd. Alright, all files have been generated, and let's see. Here are the points entering the elimination race. Despite a bad finish for Hattie Swore, or despite a good result, I think Hattie Sware's looking pretty good. Mandy Evans is looking good. Let's see. Tico Jumiaka, I know, will be in the next round regardless. All these other drivers, they have it's going to get really interesting what's going to happen. Yep, Victor Gonzalez is in the danger zone, along with Annie Crenshaw and Gretchen Miller. 2 bad races in a row. She is more than likely going to enter next week's race in a must-win situation. So, yeah. As you look on down through the rest of the standings here, as we had 90 trucks make a start. Anna Leonard, I bet she'll probably be a little disappointed. But like I said, she's going to bypass all these drivers who are non-charter contenders. Momo Akari moves up to 47th in points after a solid run today, so she'll be happy. Ari Springer is going to be happy with a solid run. And there's a look at Rookie of the Year points. It looks like Sarah Costello has taken the points lead for the Rookie of the Year honors as well. Well, that's going to do it here today from here at the Pocono. And congratulations to Tico Jumiaka on the win here today. I hope you guys enjoyed today's race. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the PCSRA crew today. We've shown you your full official results. You are looking at your rookie points, your overall points, and your playoff points heading into our next race for the Truck Series in 2 weeks at Gateway, which we will whittle from the round of 10 to the round of 7. That means 3 drivers, sadly, will be eliminated from the championship hunt. We still got to cap off our race weekend, though. We still have the AutoZone Amateur Series race, which Lucy Granger will be taking part, and she's already on her way over to her AutoZone Amateur Series car. We also have the Buffalo Wild Wings and Monster Energy Series second race of the first round. And then next week, it'll be AutoZone Amateur Series race at Kentucky, along with the Monster Energy Series first elimination race, in which we will determine who will be the 4 drivers that get eliminated over in Monster Energy before we will see all 3 series at Gateway for the first race of the second round for the Monster Energy Series and our first elimination race for Trucks and Buffalo Wild Wings Series. So hope you'll tune in for that. Till then, I've been Daniel Vols signing off. Thanks for tuning in to today's race. We'll see you guys next time as you've been watching another broadcast courtesy of the PCSRA, the best in racing since 2017. We'll see you later today for the AutoZone Amateur Series.